Perfect.
How are you feeling about the 4-0 start?
Great. I mean, I think those are 4 games that we're supposed to win. You know, like if we lost them, we would have been disappointed. And we need to keep the standard. So, but say we're where we want to be.
Thing you just said about games we're supposed to win, is that kind of a measure of how things have changed over the last 2 years? There's more of those games where you feel like you're supposed to win than before?
Of course, yeah. It is. I also mean like say one day we lose a game and the other team made a record amount of threes and a field goal percentage and we respect the scouting report. Of course, it's never all right to lose, but it's we wouldn't feel as bad as a team where we throw it away. And to lose this game tonight, we would have had to throw it away, and we didn't do it. So it also shows progress.
Mitch talked before the game about your efficiency. That's standing out to him. Then you go 7 of 8, 10 of 10 at the line, plus 35. Is that becoming more and more a point of pride just to have that efficiency at a high level?
Point of pride, yeah, but also straightforward. The best way to help my team. Sometimes it's easy to underestimate the value of turning down shots, and I've done a lot of work this summer to recognize the situations and when to take a shot, when to not, and take the highest quality shots possible.
HB said the vibes are really high for the team right now. How are you enjoying this?
Yeah, we're loving it. It's we always love playing basketball no matter what, but it's a little bit easier, to go to bed at night when you win. It's easier to come to practice. It's easier to do the hard things for recovery or scouting or the little efforts on the court because you have the results right in front of your eyes. So it's like a positive cycle,
Are you aware of the blocked shot streak that you have, 89 games?
Yeah, I don't know the number, but I know it.
Like when it starts to get late, do you start hunting those at all, or is that too simplistic?
I don't think so, because there's moments where I'm hunting blocks even when I got 6 already. So it's my job.
On that note, are there nights when it feels like teams just aren't challenging you? And do you get any sense of pride when guys, instead of going at you, throw the ball out of bounds, like happened a couple times tonight? Is that?
Yeah.
In other words, is your defensive impact in more than just the blocks, but the
Oh yeah,
drive
for sure. I think I had a solid defensive game. Without blocks or with one block. So yeah, there's many more ways to impact the game, and if it's gonna happen more and more for sure that guys turn down shots.
HB had pitched a new stat called he called it drives derailed. In other words, count the number of times that a player decides not to challenge you. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea because we do a lot of video with Sean Sweeney, to analyze the situations, and there's many times it's like before we even get to this shot, to having to block this shot, there's stuff we can do beforehand.
Congrats on the Player of the Week.
Thank you.
Wondering if if you have any thoughts on capturing that the first week of the regular season.
A little bit of pride, but I think the most important stat is the 3-0 before getting this Player of the Week. 3 wins, no losses. So this is what I'm focused on. It was like, oh, that's cool. But I have a game today though.
And now with the 4-0, Vic, would it surprise you to hear that matches the best start in franchise history? It matches the best a Spurs team has ever started.
Spurs never went 5-0?
Spurs never went 5-0.
No.
Wow, right.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. because Spurs have the highest win percentage in like the last 3 years or whatever, right? Wow, well, let's beat that record.
Days away from Halloween. Have you come up with a costume yet?
Sorry?
Days away from Halloween.
Days
Have you come
away,
up
but
with
we
a
don't get a
costume?
game on Halloween, so we don't get to see a costume this year, unfortunately.
Hey, Tony Parker was at the game today, and do you realize you're the first Spur to average 30 points over the first 4 games since Tony Parker in 08?
Well, what year was that?
2008.
Wow, okay. I didn't know.
How does that feel?
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a lots of positive things, you know. It reminds me that, you know, a collective results just trickle down to individual rewards, you know.
You guys are currently undefeated, but each game you've had different challenges, but still able to close out. What's been the biggest sign of growth that you've seen, not just in wins, but how your team handles runs, adversity, or execution?
Can still get better, especially coming out of second half. But yeah, I mean, we definitely know ourselves better, know where to get to, and also for me, it's like recognizing also the game better. Like I hear an opponent say they're gonna do this or that, and like immediately thinking, okay, that means we need to run this. So it's I guess it's just individual growth. It's you know, a sum of, I mean, a bunch of players, you know, coming together for the same project.
Collective results trickle down to individual rewards. When you say stuff like that, is that you or did you read that somewhere?
No, that's for me.
Good.
You talk about
Just come up with those.
you talk about the vibes being high and 4-0 start, but how much does Mitch's mentality to keep y'all focused each and every day help out this run?
No, I mean, Mitch is very purposeful, you know, in the way he speaks, and he manages to, you know, match our energy when it's going good, and say the right things when it's going bad, you know, when they get on runs or whatever. So it's a great quality, and I think it's a hard one to teach. So I'm glad he has it, you know, being able to recognize the situation in the moment and say purposeful things.
In the moment, by the way, 360 layup.
Never worked on that before. I guess that's the first. Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit?
En français, il a dit.
En français?
It only took 2.5 years.
Is it hard to believe that in the history of this franchise, 4-0 is the record start? We just looked that up. No Spurs team has ever gone 5-0.
Well, that's a good indication that we'll get to 50 wins, and that's a good sign. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just a testament to each game's been different, but guys have found different ways to win. People have stepped up at different times, and kind of we've done it as a group, so it's been good.
Sort of the flip side of that equation is a lot of the younger kids in that locker room have never had a stretch like this where you even won 4 in a row. Is part of the deal now to kind of keep them from getting too excited about that?
For sure. I mean, it's all perspective, right? I mean, technically, Dylan's never lost a game in a Spurs uniform, right? So it's like, you know, there's, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a balance, but I think it's a lot of the issues and the things that we've talked about in these games. It kind of can sometimes be minimized just because you win and you feel like, oh, okay, you know, this is how it goes. But over the course of the season, I think focusing on those details, I think guys are seeing that and hearing that message of there's a lot of areas that we can improve on.
Do you feel like there'll still be film sessions where we're going to look at mistakes and look at what we can clean up?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think, you know, in the New Orleans game, I mean, there was a few plays like that in the Brooklyn game, obviously giving up that lead, and tonight's game, right? I mean, just a few plays here or there, right? It changes the whole environment, right? So I think for us, it's just a matter of being in a situation that we haven't been in before, right? Playing with some leads and just having the maturity to maintain those.
What do you feel like your role is when, you know, you encounter those situations where teams start to make that comeback?
Honestly, just to try to slow things down, try to get us settled, try to figure out ways to, because, you know, Victor is a high volume guy for us, our guards have the ball a lot. What plays or actions can you call out there to just make it easier for everyone? And I think, obviously we're still developing, chemistry, just being in some of those different situations about what plays work for us and what don't. But I think guys are doing a great job.
Harrison, how about the balance? Again, today, 6 guys in double figures, had the balance yesterday as well. Just everybody contributing, not only in the point column, but in other areas as well so far.
I think one thing we talked about before the season, and we saw it kind of, in our scrimmages and just practice and things like that, was that every single night there's plenty of offense to go around. We're always going to have people who can step up, put the ball in the basket, right? But defensively, how can we do that every single night, and how can we cheer for each other's success? I think that's the biggest thing for us, because it's such a long season, because health is a part of this game, that we're going to need different guys at different times to step up. And I think guys have responded to the call, whoever it's been, whether it's been Jordan McLaughlin, whether it's been Carter's minutes tonight, whether it's been Bismack's minutes, whoever it is that maybe was in one role, but then a guy goes down and they have to step up.
You guys shot 67 shots tonight. I can't remember last time I saw a box score with that few field goal attempts. How has, I guess, the tempo been for you guys of balancing smart half-court play and then still getting aggressive in transition?
I think, honestly, the biggest thing for us is just managing turnovers. I think whether we're playing fast, whether we're playing slow, I think it's a matter of, can we continue to hit singles, right? Sometimes when we play fast, we try to go for the home run play, right? And obviously we have, a lot of players who can make exciting plays, right? But over the course of games, especially when we get to the crunch time, like, how can we just value the basketball? And I think it's an area that we know we have to grow in. We've had some high turnover games, and fortunately that hasn't come back to bite us.
You guys have tried to be pretty patient moving the ball and find wide open shots. So you had one shot in the second half. It was kind of like pretty much a contested 3, but there had been some possessions of like kind of meandering around. I guess as a veteran, at what point do you just step up? You're like, I just got to take the shot. We got to just be a little bit more decisive.
Well, I think sometimes it's the balance. Do we take, a contested 3 or a catch and shoot 3, right? Where there's a higher probability of defensive rebound and a kick out, versus do we drive into traffic, either get the shot blocked and or turn it over, trying to make a jump pass, right? Those are the plays that we're trying to get away from, right? Obviously, it's good to draw 2, make the defense collapse and then kick out, and or a Victor double team. But how can we minimize kind of those live ball turnovers where we're just, giving a team, 20 extra points at the end of the night?
You still notice teams shine, like tonight's a night when Victor didn't have a block until the closing minutes, but it seemed like there was possession after possession after possession when Toronto was actively avoiding him. Do you still see his presence felt in that way?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, teams are literally just driving in there and just not even shooting, right? Which, it's good and bad, right? But I think, it's obviously a credit to Vic in terms of the presence that he has. I mean, I don't know if there's a stat that, derailed drives by just stepping up, but he definitely affects the game without having to block a shot.
Jared might start that stat, derailed drives.
Yeah, making
there we
the
go.
thing. That's good.
Perfect.
Harrison, you shot nearly perfect tonight and had some big buckets in the fourth when Toronto began to close in on that gap. What was your read on those particular possessions, and how did you stay efficient under pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for us, and I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it, is just the vibes are high in the locker room. I think there's a lot of trust to go around. I think there's a lot of confidence to go around for anybody. And I think for us, the biggest thing is just shooting with confidence. I think that's a message that we talk about a lot, and guys' body. And so I think, obviously, tonight it was me in a few of those possessions, but whoever it is, we want anyone to just shoot those with confidence.
Speaking of your teammates, you've been around a lot of teams, but what stands out about this particular group's focus during an undefeated start in the regular season?
Well, I think the youthfulness of the team helps, because I don't think we read too much into that. I think it's more of the excitement of guys just getting a chance to play and just excited to be playing in front of great fans. I think every night, I think that's more of the focus, is how do we not let the excitement of just our games, speed us up or just, make us do some wild things out there. But I think, like I said, everyone's excited to continue to build off what we've started these first 4 games.
You talk about the vibes. I know Mitch mentioned you feel like y'all are just trying more. And when it comes to that, like, Is that just different with the culture this year? Is that different with the roster this year? Like, why do you feel like you said that y'all are just trying more?
Well, I mean, I don't. You have to ask him about that. But and just in terms of the vibes, I mean, they're high. I mean, there's a lot of, I think, off-court chemistry that that has been built over the summer. Just guys hanging out, things like that. And I think that's showing up on the court. I think the connectivity is showing up on the court. And whether we're 4-0 or 0-4, I just feel like the is different. So I think that's just the biggest thing that I've noticed, just in terms of how guys communicate, how guys are connected, in timeouts, on the court, during runs, positive and negative, all those types of things.
Thanks, HB.
Thanks, Andrew.
Appreciate you guys.